Hello and welcome back to another super exciting episode of What the Buddy and Kreese. We're your hosts. I'm Buddy.
And I'm Kreese.
We're gonna start a new. Whoa. What's up?
Hi.
How
are you
doing? I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Good. I'm doing fantastic.
Right. I'm just so super excited about what we're about to start talking about.
Apparently so.
Yeah.
But
it's not Keanu Reeves either.
But I do have to say hi to somebody else.
Who's
Tammy
that?
up in Washington. Tammy,
Oh, yeah.
I just want to say hi and thanks for listening.
Shout out to Tammy.
All right. Sir.
Yes. Okay.
Now you can tell everybody how super
verbally
excited
vomit
you are.
what I want to do.
Yes.
Okay. We're going to start a new series of topics. We're going to start talking about theories of Sasquatch or Bigfoot or whatever you want to call them. Different countries have different names. Every country. Yeah, every
the Grassman of Ohio,
Yeah.
the Swamp Thing.
There's also like a stink ape, I think,
Stink
down in
ape.
Louisiana.
Stink ape,
yeah, well,
yeah, that's
if you're
another
down in
one.
Louisiana wearing a fur coat, you're going to stink.
Well, yeah, because of the humidity, of course.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, it makes total sense.
Yeah, everybody that wears fur in Louisiana stinks. So, yeah. So, Kreese has done some research. I haven't got a chance, but I'm definitely eager to.
How dare you?
I know. I suck at that. But anyway,
Turn his mic off. He gets to say nothing.
that's right. I get to say nothing. But so he's done some research and he's come up with some. We're gonna try to concentrate more on the theories of Sasquatch over the. We don't have any. I don't have any personal experience with Sasquatch or any kind of sightings.
Not in the traditional sense, but there's been a lot of stories, and I'm quite fascinated with it.
Right.
So, yes.
This is going to be more of a theories than an experiences kind of show, but it's going to be the first of many, and we're going to incorporate some experiences, hopefully, as we go deeper into this subject.
We are, but I have questions for you first that you must answer.
Okay, I must answer the questions.
Oh,
shoot.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
Do you need a drink of water or anything beforehand?
No, I think I'm good.
Do you need your mommy to help you answer these questions?
No, I haven't had my mommy since, I haven't needed my mommy since 17.
That was going to be a whole different conversation.
That's a whole nother episode.
Okay, so briefly.
Okay.
Because you and I both can get on a tangent.
Right.
So briefly, what do you know about Bigfoot? What theory are you aware of Bigfoot that you're aware of, that you know?
Well, basically, my knowledge and awareness of Bigfoot, Sasquatch comes from popular television.
So kind of like a primate. Hybrid type animal.
7 to 8 foot tall, humanoid type,
that
bipedal.
Sure.
Right.
Very secretive, hides out in the forest.
He's the champion, reigning champion, hide and go seek.
Yes, which that record still stands. I don't think that record at this point will never be broken.
Thousands of years he's been hiding. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. So that, and then I have done a little bit of looking into, as a result of a conversation you and I had a couple of weeks ago.
All right.
The transdimensional traveler.
Okay.
Theory,
we'll go through
which makes a lot more sense than the reigning hide and seek champion. To me, in my mind.
Yeah, but in my mind, I like the hide and seek champion.
Yeah, but he's tall. Okay, so do you remember back in elementary school, there was always that one goofy tall kid, and when it was time to play hide and go seek, he was always the first to be found.
Well,
because he stuck out like a sore thumb. Well, that's where my belief in the hide and go seek thing kind of wanes away from that and on to he has a way to be able to get in and out with a flash or without a flash.
Fair
or whatever.
enough. Fair enough.
So, anyways, it might go back to the neuralizer too. That we talked about. Maybe he has.
I guarantee Keanu Reeves is probably all behind.
Oh yeah, he's all. He's right. He's feeding them info.
All right.
That's right.
Okay. All right. That's good. So
that was the first question.
Well, the second question I have for you: does it seem, based on your knowledge and research and what you've seen in reports, does it seem like there's more and more Bigfoot encounters, for lack of a better description, nowadays?
Than what
there used to be?
And I have a theory about that.
Okay.
I believe that...
It's great since this is the Bigfoot theory.
Yeah, this is a theory about a theory about a theory, if you want to go that far down the rabbit hole. But anyways, my theory about why there's so many, reports of Bigfoot now is, the internet. We've got ways to be able to communicate those
Sure.
things, whereas before it was it was a he said, she said, or a hearsay type thing, the mountain man would come in from the woods and, to the local cafe or the local bar and would sit down and tell the barkeep about what he saw. And then we came into the video age, and we have the the first videos of
Yes.
it, circulating through media, back in the day, the news and things like that.
Yeah.
Well, now we have this whole new, information age, and we got Wikipedia, and we've got social media.
Oh, you mean Liapedia? Sorry, I
Liapedia,
digress.
yeah,
I
right,
digress.
yeah. So, but. That's why I think there's more now. I believe there's always been a strong following of people that have seen Bigfoot.
Yeah, sure, but yeah, we all know internet, because look at the immediate information transfer that we can get.
Right.
Immediately.
On your phone.
Yes.
Yeah.
And look, news media and organizations, outlets, they immediately type something up, whether they have facts in place or not,
Right.
based on just
sure.
rumor half the time.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Or most of the time.
Most of the
and then they go back and they adjust. Say, well, we were wrong, here's a correction,
Right.
blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Which
yeah,
I
we
think
screwed
is,
up. Blah,
and
blah.
that's a cop-out in my opinion on their part, but
Exactly.
it is what it is.
Sure.
Going down that line, I think one of the reasons why we're having so many more contact, and beyond what the internet and people are able to read, I actually do believe, and based on the reports I've seen and videos that I've watched and etc., I think it's because we're encroaching more and more into their territory.
Oh, yeah,
If
sure.
you think about it.
Sure, that makes sense.
When
Deforestation.
yeah, back in the 60s, with
Urban sprawl. And,
correct, with the first real live video, supposedly.
Right.
I say supposedly
From the
because-
creek. I forget the name of the creek.
Yes,
Yeah, anyways.
up in Northern California.
Right.
Supposedly, I say this because I wasn't there. I wasn't even a thought at that point.
That's true.
We've encroached out into the forest in areas that we never have, just due to the population growth.
Yeah.
Due to the fact that people want to get out of the big cities.
Right.
They have second vacation homes. You have those living full time out in the forest,
Right.
out in wilderness areas. So I think our heavy encroachment into those areas is actually leading up to a lot more encounters that if we hadn't encroached out there, we wouldn't be having the encounters at the levels that we are now.
Yeah, that's a good point, for sure.
You can watch any of the shows that are out there on Bigfoot, from Finding Bigfoot on Discovery or Animal Planet, whatever channel that is,
Animal Planet,
to Paranormal caught on tape on Travel or
Destination
Discovery.
America, I think?
Destination, I don't know. They all blend in after a while.
Yeah.
We're seeing more and more videos of potential Sasquatch, Bigfoot, Yeti encounters.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the reason, and I think again, is because of the encroachment. We're getting out deeper into the forest that we've never been before, other than hiking.
Right.
People are there more often and more full time.
Sure.
Than before. So that
There's
obviously
more eyes in the forest now than there ever was before.
Exactly, and that's going to tell you. I mean, automatically that has to say to somebody, you're definitely having more contact because you're out there more.
Right.
Yeah,
for sure.
So you definitely have that. So, but one of my favorite theories for a while now is the theory that Bigfoot's actually a transdimensional traveler, like you mentioned.
Right.
When I first heard that, I go, that absolutely makes sense.
Right.
Because from my knowledge, from what I recall, when that was first presented, it was actually presented at a MUFON, Mutual UFO meeting, their big national conference.
Yeah.
That actually is where that was brought up. And people started balking like, why transdimensional traveler? Come on now. Da-da-da-da.
Right.
And everybody says, that's a little odd. It was brought in the UFO conference.
Well,
when in fact, but is it?
Maybe
Think
not.
about it.
Sure.
Because
we don't have the technology, to my knowledge, right now, to be able to harness that type of technology of the transdimensional travel.
Well, you're the only person that doesn't. We all do. We just kept it a secret from you.
Well,
no,
I
I'm just
didn't.
kidding.
How come I didn't get my membership card or
I'm
my
just
device
kidding.
in the mail?
So,
so that would tie into the UFO part. That obviously if we have the technology, it's in some government lab, probably Area 51, which we'll talk about another episode. But it would be a
I like to
technology.
think in desert sands, thank you, or white sands.
White
in
sands,
Mexico.
that could be too. They're pretty close together, anyways. There's tunnels probably from one to the other.
More than
but,
likely, yeah. So
we digress on that aspect, but so it would, in my mind, being a layman, living in society now, knowing that we don't have that technology, or assuming we don't have that technology, in my mind, the only person that would have that technology would be a being from off this world.
Sure.
Which would have to get here somehow.
Sure,
by a UFO.
If they're transdimensional, it doesn't necessarily mean they're not in this world. They're just in a different dimension.
They could be in the,
And for me, what I like about the theory is it puts a lot in there that, scientifically, the scientists can actually look at that and go, well, it's possible, because now they're recognizing more and more that there is
multi-dimensions.
Yes. Granted, how they came to that theory, that's well above my pay grade and my brain
stuff,
matter. But it makes sense just from the fact that if you look at the videos, every encounter, they always say the same thing. They peer around a corner of a tree. Then they move over to another tree or in that direction, and then all of a sudden they're out of view.
They're gone.
They should have popped out, they don't. Which would coincide and make sense with somebody who's, or something, I should say, not somebody, but something is in a different dimension that as they're walking through, they're actually walking in the other dimension. It's just crossing over into ours.
Right.
And then when they disappear, it's because
there's
they
interlacing of dimensional awarenesses and things like that.
Exactly. And to me, that makes a ton of sense.
Sure.
It makes a ton of sense.
That makes more sense than a 8-foot tall ape-like creature that can play hide and go seek better than any preschooler.
But then again, that theory resonates with me continually, because why? We're still finding, over the last couple of years, we've found a couple of tribes of people down in the Amazon that we didn't even know existed.
Right,
still.
and so creatures, we find creatures all the time,
and
too.
we're finding new
cryptozoology.
Yes, we're finding that new type of sea creatures, monsters, what do you want to call it, we've never seen before, that now they're starting to pop up. So is it feasible, or is it possible that they're still hiding out in the forest and they are still the champions of hide and seek?
Sure.
Yeah, it's a
reigning
champion.
Yep.
I'm still waiting for the day here in the United States that they find out in the middle of the forest that nobody's ever been.
Yeah.
Even though we try to claim, and the government claims, we've surveyed and blah, 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 blah.
Sure.
There's still pieces of land, especially in the national parks, out in the middle of nowhere, never seen a soul, never saw a footprint from humans.
Yeah.
So there's a real possibility that this could exist in my mind, in my opinion.
Sure.
A transdimensional traveler, Now to spin off that a little bit, could Bigfoot be a transdimensional traveler? Where they're walking in their dimension and they just have that crossover. Yes.
Yeah.
But it could be also that they're using a portal.
Right.
From one dimension to another, and they're over here, and then when they get caught, when they're seen, etc., then that's when they take off and disappear, go back through the portal, go back over to their side.
Maybe the other dimension they came from doesn't have as nice of trees as we have, so they come here to play with our in our trees,
it's a real
and then they go back home.
Real possibility.
Yeah, sure.
But see, with that being involved, and then all the new sightings and the interactions, the reports are they're getting more violent. And more scary. Before it was like noises trying to scare us. Well, now they're challenging and moving forward, throwing and attacking. And they've always thrown stones at a point.
Chasing.
But they're more specific, trying to get to those individuals more. And
anybody that sees them is now a target.
As, how do I say?
Skittish.
Passive, skittish, scared as they normally would be previously.
Sure.
They're now more confrontational.
You're right. There has been a lot more of that type of interaction with the creature than before. It used to be watch them walk across the street, or see, catch a glimpse of them paralleling a road, and now they're getting aggressive, and they're getting in your face, and I hope one gets in my face someday. I truly do. I just want to I want to become a believer.
Well, we have an expedition planned here soon that you and I are going to be going out, and we're going to be seeing if we can You know, we're going to go to some obscure locations that we know that people haven't been to and haven't done searching that we're aware of.
Right.
And you know what? Why not? Because that to me makes more sense than all these so-called hotbed places
Right.
everybody goes to investigate.
Yeah.
Just like, you know, ghost hunting, for example, for lack of a better description.
Right.
People keep going to the same place, the same haunted
Same
motels,
asylum,
the same
hotels.
Oh my God! If I see Waverly,
asylum one more time, I'm gonna puke.
Another haunted TV show.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lose my mind.
Yeah.
You know, because they keep going to the same places while they're not those are very active places.
Sure. There's other places out there. Yeah. Right.
And then who's to say? What about nature and how much actual activity is out in the middle of nowhere?
Right.
That could be taking place. So.
Yeah.
But yes. We do have an expedition plan.
Yes.
And yes. My main goal is you will see Bigfoot.
Yeah. Good.
We'll have a face-to-face.
Can I bag a Bigfoot? Can I be like the first dude to bag a Bigfoot?
No.
Can I get a Bigfoot tag for my hunting license? No?
No,
All right.
unless you're in danger.
We'll take a picture of him, I guess.
Yes.
See him sniffing flowers. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
We're not going to start a transdimensional war.
That's right.
So,
we'll probably lose that.
Now, if you haven't, buddy, I don't know if you've ever heard of Dr. Lisa, I don't want to say her name wrong, and I apologize ahead of time, but Gallinaro?
That sounds pretty right, yeah.
She's done a ton of research.
Okay.
On this theory.
She's a field researcher or a theorist? Theorist, okay.
More of a theorist, but, you know, she takes all the information out there, and look at her work when you get the chance.
Okay.
It's pretty interesting.
All right.
I'm not going to say it's spot on because this is a
yeah,
theory.
right. I mean, it's all theories at this point, yeah.
Yeah. So her work's pretty interesting, especially about the travel within the different dimensions.
Okay. So is she prevailing in that theory, or does she have others as well?
That's her. That's
the
her main,
interdimensional travel.
Yeah. And what's nice about her is here's her background.
Okay.
So she's a social-cultural anthropologist.
Okay.
A futurist, and she's a United States Army veteran.
Oh well.
So she's got some.
Yeah. We're not talking about She's got some credence.
Yes,
that's good.
Definitely. So one of the change theories here.
Okay.
On a
Switching
newer
gears.
theory that I had not
considered.
Okay. I would say that's a good word to use at the moment.
Okay.
So that would be good. So Greg Newkirk.
Okay.
He's a guy who's been running with this new theory for a while.
Okay.
That let me give you a little background based on what I read with this.
Yeah,
with this
give us the
gentleman.
theory.
So his theory is that Bigfoot's a ghost.
Okay. Wow. That's kind of a bold theory.
Well, that's what I was saying because again, he's using the theory of we have Bigfoot. Sorry for the pause. I'm thinking, ladies and gentlemen.
That's
so
what that smell
we
was.
have the right. No, it's not Sasquatch smell.
Yeah.
It's
more like burning
rubbers.
or
I'm thinking,
something,
So, is that we see Bigfoot and disappears.
Okay.
What else in paranormal realm do we see and disappears?
Well, UFOs, ghosts,
apparitions,
pretty much everything paranormal.
Pretty close to it, yeah. So, what I find interesting is that he reached out to the BFRO, the Bigfoot Research Organization.
Okay.
And he presented this theory to them.
Okay.
And he got a real cold shoulder from them.
Really?
And actually, he was featured on one of the episodes with them.
Okay.
And the only one who even took somewhat serious of his theories was one of the hosts of the name Bobo.
Okay,
on the show.
Bobo, yeah.
He goes, no, that's an interesting theory that he hadn't thought about. And he actually went into great length. And what I find interesting is, because if you think about it, I'm like, dude, you're talking to the BFRO. They're based on Animal Planet.
Yeah.
Their TV show.
Sure.
It so looks like production, editing.
It's very production-y.
Storyline. Of course, it's TV. There has to be.
Well, you got to have a certain production factor when you're going to put a television show.
You're right, and I always question that. It's like, all right, how much of this is actually real, or how much the sounds they're making, or is this made for TV, so it's not a boring TV episode,
right?
Like a lot of the reality TV stuff that is out there.
Yeah.
And Greg says that, based on the article I read, he said that he was pleasantly surprised because that's what he was expecting.
Yeah.
Pleasantly surprised that they were no joke.
legit.
They're legit actually looking at setting
okay.
up. He goes, the editing doesn't do the show justice and what the work they're doing because it's
Right.
crammed into a 30-minute period.
Well,
maybe an hour.
and they're trying to get and they add the sounds. They add their own in
Correct.
editing. They add their
Yep.
own sounds,
Yep.
so you're not getting the true scope of what you're actually hearing with your own ear in the woods.
Correct.
Which is kind of off-putting to me because, a lot of times I've noticed, and not to get too far off topic, but a lot of times I've noticed that the sounds that they are trying to get us to hear on any of those shows, whether it be a ghost hunter show or a Bigfoot show, you can't hear those sounds. Because their music is louder than the freaking sound they were trying to, and they don't shut the.
Well, and Ghost Adventures is terrible about that. So.
Well, yeah, but the ghost screamers, yeah, exactly.
The screamers, that's good.
Yeah.
So Greg talks about it that he was very impressed with that. He was a little taken back that they didn't really want to listen to his theory.
Right.
They were but he was happy that at least Bobo took an interest in it and stated that he could see how it could go that way. But it all boils down to theories.
Yeah.
Are nothing but theories and or conspiracy stories until you have
proof.
some type of factual evidence with it to prove it.
I can see, not to interrupt, but I could see those guys just from I've probably watched 99% of their episodes, if not all of them.
Yeah, based on their experience.
Yeah, they have their, other than Renee, the Matt and the head guy. What's the head guy's name? Anyways, it doesn't matter. We're not doing a show about
them, whatever.
Bigfoot field. But anyways, so they have their theories in their own mind, and they, no matter what happens, and there's been some mild conflict even in the group, especially between Renee and the head guy, whatever his name was, when her theories don't match
Matt
up.
Moneymaker, I think that's who you're talking about.
Matt Moneymaker, and then there's the shorter guy.
Yeah.
Anyways, not Bobo. Everybody knows Bobo. He's the former commercial fisherman with all of his vertebrae fused together.
Yep. Good old Bobo.
But so it seems to be, even when on the show, when they've talked to people that have had their own sightings, they tend to kind of usher the conversation in a very specific direction.
Correct.
So I could see why, if this guy, Mr. Newkirk, would come on and introduce possibly a potential for a whole nother way of thinking.
Yeah.
They would shoot it down.
Yeah. Well, if you get a chance, read Greg's article. It's called "Bigfoot is a Ghost: Interdimensional Sasquatch, the Green Flash, and Why We'll Never Find a Body."
Okay.
And it's kind of a longer article, but it's very interesting.
Much like our Tier 1 operator, your operators in American military, you don't leave anybody behind.
Exactly.
That's why we're never going to find a body, because they don't leave anything behind.
They're trans-dimensional travelers.
Right.
Yes, if they're ghosts, obviously there won't be a body. Yeah. And that leads us into the third and last theory. There's been reports that a lot of these Bigfoot sightings right before or right after, huge green glowing lights in the area.
Right. Okay.
So that with this theory is that's Bigfoot's actually a space alien.
Okay.
Space traveler. We'll be PC called space traveler,
okay.
Right? And there's been multiple reports of seeing after that, and then with that green light taking off, appearance of Bigfoot when they see the light beforehand, and
strange light,
and then you see Bigfoot arriving and whatnot, which puts an interesting spin, because what have media, history, previous descriptions have been of space aliens, of space travelers?
Right.
Gray humanoid type thing, little big heads, big rounded noggin with a pointy chin, dark black eyes, which
only eyes and no other facial features.
And that's totally different description than what Bigfoot is.
Right.
So I find that this theory that Bigfoot is UFO related, possible.
Sure.
Very well could be feasible.
Yeah.
I don't know if I necessarily buy 100% into this theory, because it's so different than what's been described before.
Well, and two, I think for my mind, from where my mind goes when I think about Bigfoot and really anything in the cryptozoological realm, is I kind of want there to be more than one thing. If Bigfoot is just another species of a visitor to this planet, and the gray, tall, gray, featureless is another species, well, that kind of takes a couple of things out of our day-to-day life and our thought processes. Okay, so we got UFOs now, we got Bigfoot now, we've got Loch Ness Monster, we've got all the different lores throughout the entire world.
Yeah, a ton of different humanoids.
And if it ends up being that Bigfoot is also one of the aliens, well, that's like taking two things out of our life to think about, I guess.
Well, yeah, but I mean, but then again, think about it. Not everything's the same. So just because there's been a bunch of experiences of gray little Martians, rounded head, face, just big eyes.
Yeah.
Who's to say that Bigfoot isn't a space alien, just a different breed, a different...
There you go. As Star Wars and Star Trek has showed us, there could be many different species in the universe.
Correct. And who knows? Space Force might actually be able to prove this for us.
They might be able to.
Just saying.
And then, but then they're probably going to shoot it, whatever it is. So...
Well,
that's what Space
kind
Force
of
is all
hope
about.
so, since that's what they're supposed to be doing.
Right.
We'll see.
Defending the planet.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So, or as in the movie Independence Day, the LAPD telling the partiers, please don't shoot into the air.
Don't shoot into the air.
You might start an intergalactical war.
Yes, that's a great line.
Yeah, we've digressed to movies, sci-fi movies. So those are some of the theories that are out there that I find fascinating and interesting and very well could be.
Right.
I won't dismiss those theories as, oh no, I don't believe those. Because there's some theories that they're like,
well, you really
can't.
You can't be so we can't be so egocentrical that we can dismiss anything.
True.
It could very well be that, just as any society evolves, there are subsets of the society that flourish and some get left behind. Could very well be the ones that get recorded on film are the ones that got left behind.
True.
When the others head back to, Melmac or whatever planet they came from.
Yeah. Exactly.
I know I'm dating myself. That's an ALF reference. I apologize for that, but that's the only one that came to mind at the time.
Yeah, because you're old, but you couldn't, you couldn't bring up something with the arachnids from Starship Troopers.
Oh yeah, well I forgot about that one. I think I only watched that
Tatooine from Star Wars.
Right.
But yeah, no, you're right. It's all interesting. It's theory, and that's what's nice about it is because we have a conversation about it, and you can believe it. You don't have to believe it. You can, take it for what it's worth. And
well, those are our theories.
We'll see.
Those are the, for lack of better terms, those are the theories that we prescribe to.
Yes.
And that we believe kind of encompasses the whole phenomenon.
Exactly.
To the best of its ability. And granted, they're all theories, and they may all be, someday prove to be BS.
Yes.
And somebody comes up with another theory that they can actually factualize instead of just theorizing on a podcast.
Very true.
So, you can take that with a grain of salt. We're going to delve into each of these theories, and when we get to investigating down the road, we're going to that is the way our investigation is going to be. We're going to try to align our investigative processes with those theories.
Nice
so that we can try to either prove or disprove the theories. I mean, we're not here to be Johnny Scientist. This ain't the Big Bang Theory TV show where we got a super smarty and somebody.
Excuse me, I think I am super smarty, but I forgot. That's another story.
I forgot. Kreese is the super smarty, but so he'll be the super smarty. I'll be the guy holding all the equipment or whatever. But anyways, that's this is something we're passionate about. Something that definitely is something I think about a lot.
Yeah.
I wish that we lived in a more rural area where there would be a potential to see something. I mean, you're not going to see Sasquatch walking in downtown Phoenix.
We've already mentioned it. We're going to go out. I've got an expedition planned for us. Right. It's going to happen real soon.
No, but I'm talking about like every day. I'd like to have some kind of experience.
If you want, I can leave you out there every day. That's not a problem. We can make that happen.
I'd love that. That'd be awesome.
We'll tie you down to a tree and leave you there.
Right.
We'll come and give you food, everything every day.
All right. So I don't. Anything else? Is that?
No, that's our show for today for the theory.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't be afraid to hit us up at all the wonderful.
Not all. The major ones.
The major ones.
Instagram, Facebook, and
Twitter,
yeah. And then we have an email address. Go ahead.
The email address is wtbandk@gmail.com. And then also, if you like what you're hearing from the show, feel free to log in and you can support us
on Spotify and Anchor.
Spotify and Anchor, yes.
I just found out about this myself, so I'm super excited.
So you can definitely log
in,
and if you like to show what we're doing, and everything goes towards creating content for you in the show.
Yeah, definitely.
So otherwise, buddy, as always, it's a pleasure.
That's right.
You have anything else for our friends?
This has been a Loyal Families Entertainment and Production Joint.